Tell your story. Shout it, write it, whisper it if you have to, but tell it. Some won't understand it, some will outright reject it, but many will thank you for it. Eventually, one by one, voices will start whispering, "Me too." And your tribe will gather. This is Bridging the Silence with Kari Washira.
The average man has no tangible answers to these 5 questions.
As a generation, sometimes we stay stuck in the victim mentality that I've been hurt, full stop. But what are we doing about it?
As young people, we have the tendency, or we can fall for the trap of trying to be like a person in an instant what they became through a process.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Yeah. I've realized if you failed as an employee, you not succeed as an entrepreneur. You've heard of this narrative it's a common story of how this person tried to help a butterfly out of the cocoon, and they interfered with the process.
Yeah.
And eventually what happens is the butterfly dies. In terms of the transition from being a caterpillar to a butterfly wasn't. Once you interfere with that process, you interfere with the longevity of whatever is supposed to come out of it.
Keith.
Yep.
This has been a long time coming.
Yes. Finally tumefika.
I think we started the convos in February.
Yeah.
Was it? Last year, December? I can't even remember.
Yeah.
I just know we've been trying to get this launched for such a long time.
Yeah.
But we're finally here.
Finally, and to your credit, you've taken a shorter time than Arsenal.
That's interesting.
Your run
waiting
towards
for the comments on that one.
Yeah. Your run towards your actualizing.
Yeah.
It's not a marathon kai Arsenal. So
yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
To the Arsenal fans.
That's a big compliment.
Yes, it is. It took a shorter time than the Gunners, man.
It took a shorter time.
Yes.
It took a shorter time.
Yes.
Wow. But yeah, so we're here today with Keith.
Yeah.
Nyambane.
Yeah.
Personal friend and mentor. This is a guy I call at midnight if I need to be bailed out. Not that I need to be bailed out.
Yeah.
But if that was to ever happen, then, this is a guy. I think even yesterday, I called him yesterday to come for this podcast today at like 9 p.m. And he's like, sure. And he was busy in the morning anyway. So yeah, he's a very personal friend. We're very close. I think we've been doing this journey for quite a bit.
Yeah.
And so we've now come today to... What have we come to talk about, Keith? What have we come to talk about?
Coming to talk about the state of the Kenyan man.
The state of the Kenyan man.
Yeah.
The state of the Kenyan man. That's interesting. Okay.
Since we have a mentorship relationship.
Yeah.
So it's been interesting to watch different men evolve, and especially for my world.
Yeah.
Noticing what's happening in the corporate, because I'm in the corporate space of
Yeah.
training and everything. The more companies I'm working with, the more I'm finding ladies chairing meetings and running the show, and more men are becoming less of a show and like curtain raisers.
Yeah.
And it's quite a conversation. So I'm glad to be here,
Yeah.
so we can get to just unpack, to say what's happening and how did you get here, and how do we help in our own small contribution?
Yeah.
How do we add value to the men in our spaces in order for us to make the world a better place in one way or the other?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think just clarifying hapo mbele that we're not against women empowerment.
Definitely.
This is not what we're talking about today. I think we're just focusing on the Kenyan man, his development, how far he's come, the origins basically, and like where he is right now. So that's what we want to get into.
Yeah.
So I think maybe we could start with maybe sharing about what are some experiences that have like shaped you as a man, as a Kenyan man, this very day.
Growing up in a single parent family.
Yeah.
And growing up experiencing and seeing firsthand divorce. My parents got me in campus, so they never got married. And with that, shortly after, because they went separate ways, when my mom got married, growing up with a stepdad and watching the hostility that it came with, the desire to connect with my dad. He wasn't at a space where he was able to be the dad I wanted. So I got to experience firsthand the emptiness that a boy experiences when there isn't an older man to just tell him turn left, turn right. But eventually, my uncles, my mom's brothers really came through. Some actually, if someone was to ask me who fathered you, I'd talk about my uncles. And that's what has given me passion about, especially the mentorship for the boy child. Because I know, what it means to try build life from trying to paint a picture, trying to replicate a picture you never saw. There's nothing as confusing.
That's deep. That's deep.
Oof.
I think for me, what shaped mine was, as a kid, I was very sensitive. Like, I was very, very sensitive. So, kitu dogo nalia, So I was really sensitive. That was just in my nature, and for a long time I saw it as a weakness. Because now, I think being in primary school, now everyone is telling you about how you need to man up and everything, which is crazy because we're like 6 years old or something. Supposed to be crying when you're 6. But anyways, so, everyone is kind of making it look like a weakness. It's
be
like,
a man,
hey,
stop
be
crying.
a man, why are these small things hurting you? So anyways, so I think from that point now, I chose to put on thick skin, quotes. Because I was of the impression that now if you have thick skin, you're a man. If you basically rise above, if you basically, you just show yourself like to be emotionless, then that's what makes you a real man. But then now that resulted in me becoming very arrogant. I became like a bully or something like that. I had a lot of people like along the way, basically, out of that, trying to mask that, what I thought was, weakness and everything. And so, from here, of course, being sensitive and masking, it doesn't mean that this whole time you're not hurting as well. And you're not also being hurt by people as you continue along the way. So now it's like a watermelon that's hard on the outside but soft on the inside. So even when you open it up, it's still soft on the inside. So now, I think, much later on, I think maybe in high school then, is when now I think I got to kind of realize that, like, the bottle, when you bottle up emotions to the point where the bottle explodes, basically. So that kind of happened for me, and I was like, wait, what just happened? And I think it was during that point that, I was on social media, just scrolling, not like I was an influencer or anything, but I think there was one day I was scrolling and I came across this guy's video. He's called Matthias James Barker. He's a psychotherapist. And I kept passing his video. I don't know why they kept being recommended to me. The For You page just knows what you need. It's like, oh, okay.
When
stop
it. Here's the recommended medicine.
Here's your medicine. Here's your medicine. So now I got his video. I just kept scrolling past them. And then there's one that I just chose to listen to for some odd reason. And I listened to it. And I think it was the first time in a long time I had, your feelings are valid. That your feelings matter. That being sensitive is actually a strength. It's not a weakness. Of course, in balance. Of course, but we'll talk about that later. But just that whole aspect of your feelings are valid. And I think I just really needed to hear that for a long time, because I don't know, I just felt like this whole time, you're living under a mask and you're not being yourself. And so you're kind of portraying yourself as someone completely different in order to fit in to what society has put as a standard for you. This is how you're supposed to act and stuff like that. But deep down inside, this is not who you are. So I think that was kind of the start of my healing journey to being who now I'm basically becoming. And I think that's also, one of the main reasons why the podcast evolved. It was just having that realization and then thinking, wow, how many more men, how many more people, how many more individuals need to hear this message that your feelings are valid. Because I think we live in a world where we're almost trying to desensitize ourselves to emotions. And it's what makes us human. It's not, it's like other things, you get them as you grow up, like your clothes and everything or something. But you're born emotional. You say emotional or emotionful. Anyway, you're born with emotions, right?
Yeah.
So you can't really turn them off. I think the best thing you can do is feel them, sit with them, process them, control them.
Yeah.
But you can't turn them off.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of what shaped me in my journey.
Yeah.
And like it's continually shaping me now. Because even now it's kind of now opened up new doors now into vulnerability. And with vulnerability comes even the ability to be able to connect better with people.
Yeah.
So I think that's some experiences that shaped who I am.
And it's interesting you're saying that, because I'm working with quite a number of people.
Yeah.
And I'm helping them to humanize. It's like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay that it didn't work out the first time.
Yeah.
It's okay that the relationship ended, the business didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
The reason I'm saying that is because as young people, we have the tendency, or we can fall for the trap of trying to be like a person in an instant what they became through a process.
Say that again.
Yeah.
Say that again.
Yeah.
What? I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So trying to be like a person in an instant what they became through a process.
Uh-huh.
And when they were doing their process, you were not present to see it. So you only see the finished product.
The finished product.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we glamorize, actually.
Yeah.
It's the successful life, not the successful journey.
Yes. And
that's interesting. Okay. Uh-huh.
And with that, you don't get to humanize your own journey of dating and ending up in a breakup.
Yeah.
You started a business, it went under. You put a proposal, it was kicked out.
Yeah.
And with that kind of mindset of trying to be like a person in an instant where they became through a process, you really dehumanize your part of the journey. And coming back to myself, I've come to appreciate good things take time. And when I'm doing my time, there's no condemnation in it.
Yeah.
Like, just do my part of it. Work at my own pace.
Yeah.
And social media is not helping. Because you see, let me give an illustration. There's a time I was doing an event, and it was out of town, and we needed to be at the venue by, let's say, 7 a.m.
Yeah.
So to be there by 7, we had to leave the house by 5 and set up and everything. It was a very successful event. During lunch, we took a photo with some high-end guys.
Yeah.
Then I got to post on my status that photo with those guys of having lunch. If someone was to compare their life with mine using that lunch hour, they'd think the key to success is just start your own company and invest in consultancies.
Yeah.
I didn't post the 5 a.m. I left the house and spending in darkness traveling to the venue.
Yeah.
I also didn't post the time it took to leave the venue and get back home. And so we're talking about trying to be like a person in an instant where they became through a process.
Yeah.
It's comparing your lowlights with someone else's highlights. And specifically for men, society has not helped us.
Yeah.
In the Kenyan society, we've been given definitions of a man provides, a man has it all together, a man, he does it right the first time.
Yeah.
And if you don't, what's wrong with you? So things like why you depressed, why you sad, such conversations, very few men get to have it authentically. And so we are caught up with looking the part and not being the part. And so and that's what social media gets to tell us. Look the part. It doesn't matter if you're the part. And unfortunately, life requires you to be the part and not just look it. Imagine going for an interview and you have everything except the qualifications.
What's the point?
You came with the look, you had the right English, but when it came to the competence required, you actually don't have it. And so when men are not allowed to be more than to look, then when the doing is required, that requires being, they actually fall short. And so some of the definitions I've had to live up to is, I've had to adopt for myself. Success is Success is becoming a better version of yourself consistently. Moving towards improving the version you are. And not just trying to be someone else's version. And so it doesn't matter the car I don't drive. It doesn't matter which neighborhood I'm at, as long as I'm working towards becoming better day by day. And so that has helped me not to try and... I normally say I have nothing to prove but everything to improve.
Okay.
So everyone is my teacher. Everyone is my teacher. Everyone has something to teach me. I'm competing with no one.
Wow. I'm still stuck on nothing to prove but everything to improve. I think a lot of the times right now, especially as men, we get caught up comparing, whether it's relationships, whether it's like finances, whether it's the journey that someone is in right now. And so I think a lot of the time that creates a stigma around talking about your journey and talking about your life. Because it's like, now if I start telling him about how I'm happy that I was able to buy bread today, he started telling me about how he was happy that he was able to buy a Porsche or something like that, like overnight or something like that. And how he's been making millions of dollars. I'm just happy to get a job, So I think a lot of the times, these things even end up being more hurtful than helpful. Because then now, because people feel like they have to match a certain standard, their journey has to look a certain way, then people end up being so, like, saddened by their own life. Like, they look back at life and they're like, yeah, I've not achieved much. I'm not really enough as a guy. I don't have the family at 30. I don't have the wife by 27 or it's 26. I don't have the... in Shamba and the house by 40. I'm not driving a Bugatti by 50 or something, or maybe even earlier. It's just, my life is not, it's not really amounting to anything. So I think it's very common actually, even like in Kenya, because I think we dismiss these things as Western problems, but there are very rich people in Kenya, and at the same time, on the other side, there are also very poor people in Kenya. So it's like when you mix the beans and all those people are interacting at the same place, the guy who's excited for one thing it's like it's diluted by someone else who's excited for another thing. So it's interesting. What are your thoughts on that?
Comparison will always make you to downplay. Yes, it will. Anytime you compare, you belittle. Anytime you begin saying, I know I have a car, but it's not. Anytime you move from it's not, you've started to compare and to belittle. And as men, I think we need to come to the place where we allow people to be in their space and and do life at their own pace. Challenge, but allow people to walk at their pace. You've heard of this narrative it's a common story of how this person tried to help a butterfly out of the cocoon, and they interfered with the process. And eventually what happens is the butterfly dies. In terms of the transition from being a caterpillar to a butterfly wasn't... Once you interfere with that process, you interfere with the longevity of whatever is supposed to come out of it. And so as men, it's okay. At least I'm doing it in the spaces I'm at, with the guys I'm mentoring. I'm like, it's okay. It's okay you didn't get it the first time. It's okay that your business didn't take off. It's okay. And I believe as men, that's a message we really need to begin to help, especially with the younger generations. And tell them, I didn't start living in Karen. I started in a bed sitter. And in that bed sitter, I struggled with rent. And so if your first job is not, the word is giving, as you have guys talk about, it's not giving prosperity, it's okay. Because if you don't do that, now you take shortcuts. You begin to bypass the processes that actually enable you to sustain whatever you're trying to build. So comparison is such a disease. And we celebrate the gains of social media. But social media is only showing us the instance. It's not showing us the dark sides of developing the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Kodak. Do you know what Kodak? Do you know what Kodak is?
Kodak, the film.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that I think the only time I've heard of Kodak is the story about adapting. It's always used as analogies for business.
Yeah.
Like the one company that didn't adapt.
Yeah.
And then you need. Anyway,
So
they
these
not
two,
listening to this.
So
Anyway,
they used to develop the pictures in the dark and display in public.
Oh,
so in as much as Kodak is not doing as much now, there's something we could learn from them.
Yeah,
pictures are developed in secret, Pana, and displayed in the public arena. So every man has his dark side, not the skeletons, but there's a season of insignificance where you just need to go through the process and build the muscle and the capacity to sustain whatever you're working towards. Because this affects relationships in terms of if a man spent more time looking the part and not being the part, marriage and relationships require you to be the part and not just talk about it. And so if you never had chances where you served under someone, you kept a job even when you didn't feel like it. Talking about work, then going back to relationships, I realized if you failed as an employee, you not succeed as an entrepreneur. Oh yes. Look,
that's interesting.
Yes.
A lot of people are trying to jump to entrepreneurship.
Yes.
Before working as an employee.
Yes.
But you're saying.
Because it's in the place of serving someone else's vision that you're prepared for your own. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In relationships, if you never had an opportunity to be selfless, then whichever person you get into a relationship with become the sacrifice. Yeah.
No, I often actually tell my friends this, that you can't, like when you get into a relationship, you can't wake up a new man.
Yeah.
Like now I'm going to act like the partner or the boyfriend or whatever that they want me to be overnight.
Yeah.
You can't go from being selfish to now caring about your partner's needs and being selfless about it.
Yeah.
It's maybe that can happen in the honeymoon phase anyway.
Yeah.
But then it will wear off because then I think we're creatures of habit. What you make as your habit is what becomes your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And subsequently becomes your identity in a sense.
Yeah.
So if it's been your habit to be selfish, there's no way to suddenly become your habit to be caring and selfless and everything. Yeah.
And I normally say quite a number of young people, or just generally, people practice I don't in quotes, during their singlehood, and then promise I do on their wedding day.
Expound that for us.
Imagine you're preparing for a race. There's an exam coming.
Yeah.
And then the night before the exam, you promise your parents you're going to pass this exam. Your promise does not override your lack of preparation.
Oh.
Yeah. And so in relationships, if someone has never been in a context in which they prioritize other people's interests, then, because I'm married, marriage doesn't fix that.
Yeah.
Giving a promise before a man of God or whichever place you choose to do your wedding officially doesn't override the selfishness that has been perfected over the years.
Yeah.
This is true in relationships, it's true in entrepreneurship, it's true in every space, that anything that you didn't grow into, many times you can't keep it. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because I think what also came to mind was, what was this again? I think I had this somewhere. It's if you, even in high school, friendships and everything, what you invest, like the effort you put into your friendships is oftentimes the effort you're going to put into your future relationship.
Yeah.
The effort you put in with your friends. And even that, in a sense that even though, the high school dating that takes like 2 months and everything, and I think it's often glamorized now to, in a sense, date someone for 2, 3 months, 5 months, ikienda sana, and then now you drop one, you pick another one. So when you create that habit of kind of changing partners, I think I had this thing, changing partners like socks was a phrase being used a while back.
Yeah.
But so when you create this habit of that, and then you come into marriage and expect yourself to be faithful to this one person, it now becomes a tall order. It becomes a completely, it almost seems like an impossible task, to some degree, because it's like you've gotten used to a habit and now you're expecting yourself to suddenly change.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, in school, changing schools didn't take you to the next grade.
Oh.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in grade 1 in one school and you say, I don't like this school, in all likelihood, you first of all go through the exam to prove that you understood the level you're at.
Mm-hmm.
So, no matter how, unfortunately, most people imagine the opposite with regards to life.
Yeah.
That I tried this thing and I didn't feel like continuing with it. I'll stop and change ship and become a better person.
Yeah.
So why is this important for men? Go through the process and befriend people who normalize process and humanize the frustrations that come with trying to build something from the ground up. Because you're talking about the state of the Kenyan man.
Yeah.
There's a cycle I got to learn. I'll get to share. This is regards to, it's usually used in the world of business, but we can and see how it can relate to other spaces. Someone said that hard times produce strong people. Strong people produce good times. Good times produce weak people, and then weak people go back into hard times. Yeah. And so the state of the Kenyan man, if you can go back to the season of the independence, we had men, our grandfathers went to war. And so they became very hard people. And they were the trauma and all the hardening that happened.
Yeah.
So those were hard times. World War I, World War II produced very strong people. Unfortunately, they were strong and hostile at the same time because of the trauma.
Yeah.
But strong nonetheless. So with that kind of strength, they were able to come back to the country and produce good times by working hard and pushing against all adversities, having seen much, much more pain and struggle.
Yeah.
Given just a chance to just do something with yourself, they produce good times. And in those good times, we had now a generation of men who enjoyed things that they didn't know how it was produced. So hard times producing good times producing weak people. And then those weak people not being trained on how to produce the same hard time, good times. So they go back into hard times.
Yeah.
So the state of the Kenyan man, we are in a generation where, to a good extent, we have grown in good times.
Yeah.
And so what our parents struggled to have, the stories of I walked to school, I milked 10 cows.
Yeah.
And
at 4 a.m.
At 4 a.m., yeah.
Before washing all my siblings.
Yes.
And taking them to school.
Yes, those narratives. Some of them are fictitious, but quite a number are actually real.
Yeah.
And so they grew up in a setting where they had to really struggle to make ends meet. And so they became strong and pushed back. For them, if education was the key, they knocked down the door and walked through and did everything they could. So we have our generation, because we are almost the same, we've grown up in good times. Yeah. And delayed gratification is not a terminology we understand. The texting, instant.
Yeah.
Our parents used to write a letter and wait for like 5 weeks to get a response.
Yeah.
For us, you send a text in 2 minutes, you've been blue ticked, you're feeling suicidal.
Oh, well.
I've lost my purpose in life. Why she didn't text me as soon as that sense of weakness really characterizes a lot of our men. And so we might not exactly go back into poverty, but we'll have the hard times of not knowing how to sustain what's been entrusted to us. See, as our parents gave us what they didn't have, quite a number were not intentional in giving us what they had that produced what we're enjoying.
Break that down further.
So, in their desire to ensure that we don't lack what they had. Yeah. Saying, for example, I didn't grow up wearing shoes, and so they promised that my children must have as many pairs of shoes as can be. Yeah. However, we got the shoes, quote unquote, but we didn't get the work ethic that produced the shoes. And so in their absence, we might not be able to enjoy or pass it on to our own kids. So for the men, if you're hearing this and if you have parents who, in their desire to shield you from everything they experienced growing up, I don't know how you're going to do this, but you need to own your own journey towards your own masculinity and taking responsibility for your outcomes.
Yeah.
Because the more you blame people, the more you create hard times for yourself.
Yeah.
And you won't be able to recreate the good times you're enjoying. I
think also on that,
yeah,
which is very interesting, because right now, especially on the rise of mental health resources and talks and everything, like just more awareness, actually, I think that's the better word to use. There's a lot of blaming of parents, and then the conversation ends there. And we'll definitely we'll talk about childhood trauma as we continue with this podcast and all that, even parent wounds and everything. But I think as a generation, sometimes we stay stuck in the victim mentality that I've been hurt, full stop. But what are we doing about it? And so it ends up kind of, it in a sense, it weakens us and even disallows us from even stepping into our potential. And it's not necessarily that the heart is holding us back, but it's that we are holding ourselves back by staying within the heart, So I don't know. I think that just brought that up very interestingly.
If I could ask you a question, where do you draw the line between a bad attitude, being fragile, and having a genuine mental health issue? And as you get to that, growing up, people who had mental health issues were taken to Madare. Now we pride ourselves for, I'm not okay mentally. That's madness,
Yeah, I think
it's become a crutch where it's genuine. There's some people genuinely they're having issues.
Yeah,
but it's become such a
I think especially at the height of the pandemic,
there
was a lot of glamorization of mental health issues. And this is a mental health podcast, so it's not that we are saying that there are no people who are discovering during pandemic in solitude that they actually are struggling quite a bit. There were quite a number of those. But now, on the other hand, there were quite a number of also the people who are rising up and saying, I have trauma, I have like it was just everywhere you go. It's like, I have, in fact, I have bipolar disorder. So there's a lot of self-diagnosis also going around. There's a lot of this, just the glamorization of it to make it look like it was such a nice title to walk around with. I have a mental health illness. I have a mental illness, while there are people who are genuinely struggling. And I think that the big issue with that actually is that now the people who need the help can't get the help because the people around are not taking them seriously enough to get the help that they need, because the people they're seeing are the ones who are glamorizing it and basically putting it on like it's a badge. Like, I've had this number of mental illnesses, and you're wearing it like a badge, but for you genuinely, that you've never seen a psychiatrist, you've never seen a professional to diagnose you with this. And more often than not, actually, what was happening is there was a lot of circulation of videos online that were talking about this mental health issues. And a lot of them were by people who are not professionals. And so people are like, okay, these are the symptoms of bipolar. And then everyone is like, I have bipolar. I have bipolar, And it was like, okay, that's interesting. So the people who actually had bipolar can't now be taken seriously in society. Because it's like, oh, you have bipolar. That's cool. Even me, I have bipolar. So we both have bipolar. That's we're twins now, So
so where do you draw the line between
the fragile,
being fragile, having mental health issue, and bad attitude?
Okay. So let me start with mental health issue. So I'm a big advocate for diagnosis. Please, before you say you have depression, get a professional to diagnose you with depression. Before you say you have anxiety, get a professional to diagnose you with anxiety. You can move around with the suspicions that you may have anxiety, but I think walking around having, like, just claiming to have something, I think it does more harm than good, especially in society. So I think genuine mental health issues are diagnosed. Either you see a therapist, a psychiatrist, psychologist, psychotherapist, all the whole bunch of professionals, and then you get diagnosed. And then now, fragility, I would say fragile is now, I talked about earlier about sensitivity, about the balance, like how I need to discover like that balance and everything. So the reason I talk about balances, because I believe that sensitivity needs to be balanced, in that, yes, you're sensitive in that you're attuned to your emotions. You're able to process your emotions. You're able to feel your emotions. You're able to sit with your emotions. But when you become too sensitive to the point where you're picking out faults or rather you're picking out insults in people's statements where they're not necessarily trying to insult you, in a sense. And I think it becomes more harmful even to yourself. Because then let's say we're talking like this and then I start inferring, wait a minute, the way you said that, maybe it's because of actually that, and I'm not saying that generally there's, how do I put this? I'm not saying that you can't be hurt by inference. Like, that's also possible. But I think sometimes, now at the level of fragility, that people who walk around and you just feel like you're walking on eggshells around them. Like constantly you're just walking on eggshells around them. Because anything you say can and will be used against you in society, like in daily living anyway. So I think fragility is now where that balance, this sensitivity scale basically tips more to is it the left or the right? But basically tips more to one side. And it becomes a point where, because I think sensitivity in essence is supposed to help you. I think it's, in biology, being sensitive to our surroundings is a characteristic that makes us, mammals and everything. So it's something that was actually built in us to survive. The fact that you can be able to infer that this person wants to beat you, okay, let me not use that analogy because, I can see where that could go. But maybe the fact that you can infer that maybe in a dark alley you're more likely to be robbed and avoid it, that helps you survive, right? But then now, when you're constantly looking at how do I put it? But yeah, basically you get the general general gist of it. So that's fragility. The other one was, what was in the
mental
middle?
health, bad attitude.
Bad attitude.
So where do you draw the line between?
So bad attitude. This one. For bad attitude,
can someone blame a bad attitude on? Can someone have you genuinely have a bad attitude towards work, but then you blame the workspace and say you guys are toxic?
Yes.
So where do you draw the line?
I think this is actually a very interesting question, because I think a lot of the times bad attitude is sometimes in some scenarios, very emphasis on some scenarios, it's they interlap with the claim to have mental health issues. So let's say you're in a setting and you're being given work that you're supposed to do. Now, I'm not talking about burnout. I'm not talking about like being overloaded. You're being given work that you're supposed to do. And then you come and you say, actually, no, I have anxiety towards this work. I don't want to do this because this is going to affect me in this way. But in reality, it's that you don't want to do it. And you, in a sense, in that moment, you can even say you're lazy, right? And then now you want to put the blame on everyone else except yourself. Actually, no, why am I being on a ward? Actually, no, how come this work is not being given to other people? No, these people don't like me. It's a toxic environment. And I think that's even still in the conversation of the Kenyan man. Because as you said, soft times produce soft people. And I think because now of the times being a lot softer, we've become less, is the word resilient or persistent towards getting goals. Where in the past they would really fight, to get something done. Now for us, we want to win things quickly. I think that's why there's a complete rise in betting, in gambling, in all those, like even the projects, the scandals, like the whole thing. It just has a complete rise in it because there's a belief in easy money. There's a complete in just making it out easy. So I think bad attitude in essence would be, I think it's just flatline bad attitude.
Yeah.
Like I think it's when he has no ties, but then at the same time, and I think we'll even talk about this a lot later, how sometimes people with genuine mental health issues, we also may need to draw some boundaries with the people. Because let's say someone is genuinely diagnosed with depression or let's say with anxiety, genuinely diagnosed with anxiety, and then
they're getting treatment for it and everything, but then they keep coming to work and they keep using it as a reason to opt out of things. It's no, actually, I can't do that work. My anxiety will rise. Actually, I can, and for a lot of people, it's definitely genuine. And that's why we're emphasizing this, because the people who are doing it to just get out of getting work done are harming, or rather they're causing the ones who genuinely need those off days to be unable to get those off days. Right. So
it's a misuse of privilege, or misuse of genuine. It's building a self pity party around something authentic. I would define being fragile as being unable to sustain pressure. Again, in my world of mentorship and corporate trainings, quite a number of young men, I'm posing this question to them. No matter what story they come with, I always come back to, in what way are you responsible for the state you're in? And whatever answer they give is their problem. Many times, our main problem is usually how we see life, not even life itself. Because two people can have the same issue, and they turn out differently. And most times, the defining factor is, what are your thinking patterns? And going back to the state of the Kenyan man, I define it in two ways. What's ailing us? Godlessness and friendlessness. For some reason, we've been told you can replace God with money. That the more you have, the more secure you are. And the issue with unplugging God from a conversation, your life lacks a so what. The conversation of significance eventually eludes you, because we are eternal beings, and there has to be a so what beyond the here and now, the car, the house, and all those things. So godlessness is such an issue. And then friendlessness. Again, the average man has no tangible answers to these 5 questions. And to your credit, I'm seated here because you're intentional in working with someone who's a bit older and has taken a journey that you desire to walk into. So the 5 questions I challenge even our audience to ask, and if you're dating this, if you're in a relationship, these 5 questions are important to get to hear from your man, and they need to be tangible answers. Number 1 is, who's holding your hand? Who's gone ahead of you? What are you trying to build? And who's this person who's built it or has a version of what you desire to have one day? So who's holding your hand? That's mentorship. Whose hand are you holding? Into whose life are you being intentional in pouring yourself into? You see, it's been said there's the Red Sea and the Dead Sea. The Red Sea is lifeless because it received and didn't give out. Okay. That's the Dead Sea, actually.
Oh, the Dead Sea. Yeah.
And so a dry sea is one in which you pour out and don't have anyone pouring into. So state of the Kenyan man, in the middle, those who have people pouring into them and those who have people pouring out into are healthy men. The majority have no one investing in them, and therefore they're always pouring out. Eventually they become living dead men, just lifeless. You can pay the school fees, but anything outside the world of money, you have nothing to say, because there's no one pouring into your life. So the second one is, who's holding your hand? The other question is, when was the last time you met? Intentionality. Are you intentionally setting things in such a motion that you guys can meet? Again, I have mentors, I have mentees, and one of them said, we don't drift into good direction. We discipline and prioritize our way there. So no one drifts. Wait. So we don't drift our way into good destinations in life. You have to prioritize and discipline your way there. And so this question of when was the last time you met, it's a question of discipline. Are you disciplined enough to say, these are the guys who are working with me and these are the guys I'm working with? Then the fourth question is, what are they keeping you accountable to work on?
Yeah.
So accountability, again, a good percentage of men don't have answers to these 4 questions. Then the last one, how are you measuring your growth? Yeah. So the Kenyan man, the state of the Kenyan man, especially our Gen Z, conversation for another day, a lot of young people are not getting married and they don't believe in marriage anymore. And if you're to just study them, you realize godlessness and friendlessness. That you don't have someone who's holding your hand, someone who's able to look ahead and say, what's your plan? What's your big picture?
Yeah.
And they're able to tell you, these are the blind spots to what you're dreaming about.
Yeah.
Then whose hand are you holding? As much as you're receiving, into whose life are you pouring yourself into? Then when was the last time you met? What are they keeping you accountable to work on? And how are you measuring your growth? To the credit of our audience, how this, let me use my own life. I have quite a number of men in their 60s, because I'm in the world of consultancy and training. I have men who are holding my hand, and I get to show them my blueprint, and they get to correct me.
Yeah.
Whose hand am I holding? The doctor across this table.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I say that enough. I really do. Yeah.
So to your credit, we got to, because we're now talking about healing, we got to discuss this idea in February at a restaurant somewhere, and we said, I got to place a paper before and told you, please fill in your plan.
Yeah.
And this is 9 months later, we are sitting in a podcast room.
Yeah.
So men need
Surreal.
men. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what I'd say.
Yeah. That is so interesting. Actually, while you're talking about that, I think we forgot to mention that you are the captain of StaRise Mentors.
Yes.
No, tell us about that actually. Like, what do you do at StaRise?
Yeah.
And how has that impacted the boys and men in this generation?
StaRise was born out of many things, but one of them is a story. Let me give you a story. There's when I was dating my wife back then in 2017.
Yeah.
There's a time I took time to transfer everything I downloaded on my laptop into a hard drive. And then, because she was traveling, she was working out of the country back then, I got to transfer and I created a folder and shared everything I had in my hard drive into hers.
Yeah.
And then, as laptops happen, mine got to crash. But because I had shared my content, whatever my laptop was carrying, into another hard drive, whatever I had, the content didn't get lost. So StaRise, one of the mission statement for StaRise is spearheading a generation of young people who refuse to die with anything they're supposed to leave behind. How is this related to the story? If I was selfish with what I had in my laptop, then the death of the laptop would have been the death of everything that it carried. Every human being is like my laptop. We have a time limit. We have a shelf life. And anything that you didn't share with the world around you, when you die, it will be of no use to you or anyone that you never got to share it with. In funeral services, the saddest bit is usually not the person you buried, but the person who never showed up. What does that mean? We will mourn of the person we knew. They were a good singer, they were all these things. But the version we never got to know is actually the real loss. And so StaRise is an initiative that's challenging as many young people to move from just having potential to actually living it out. And so for me to sit here and look at you and support your podcast, StaRise it's fulfilling its mandate. Myself, I've done quite a number of things. I've produced music, I've done events, I've ticked a lot of boxes. And so I want to lead by example. So when like you're saying at the beginning that you called me at 9 p.m. saying, can you come tomorrow? Because I believe in your dream, I have to show up. And we're doing this as an individual level and also at corporate level. So we're challenging companies, we're challenging people specifically to learn how to do less and accomplish more. And it's a whole program, there's a plan around it, and Yeah. So congratulations. And
Thank
congratulations to our producers who are helping us accomplish this.
Honestly.
Yes. Thank you for
Big shout out
partnering
to
with
them.
us. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but that's interesting.
Yeah.
You said you partner with companies, right?
Yeah.
So you work with companies as well, eh?
Yes.
Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we've done quite a number of corporate events. We do a lot of leadership trainings.
Mm-hmm.
We used to do team buildings, exclusively.
Yeah.
But then we realized the end year events, when you come a year later and ask people, so what did you say last year? Guys are blank.
Mm-hmm.
And for most companies, not most, but a good majority of staff members during team building, they can't wait for the activities to end so they can have fun in the evening and just have fun and forget everything you said during the day.
Mm-hmm.
So with the companies we're working with, I won't mention names,
Mm-hmm.
we've designed programs in which we get to meet their staff members on a consistent and continual basis.
Yeah.
So such that at the end of the year, it's more of a culmination than an icebreaker with the facilitator. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
You said as well about tracking dates. So tell us what's this project you've been working on for some time now? You mentioned it before. What's the plan about? What's the story behind it?
Yeah. I don't know if I can ask the producer. Are you able to pause? Because I need to show you. To pause, kidogo. About the planner. Back in 2013, someone came almost August, and they asked me, Keith, where have you been? And you know how as Kenyans we can talk and say nothing. I've been around. I've been here, just And I remember going back to my home and just thinking through, by the way, Keith, where have you been? And I couldn't account for a whole year. I'm like, dude, it's 9 out of 12 months. And you can only remember the piano lessons you took people through, a bit of a wedding there or an event the other place.
Yeah.
So that was very convicting. I remember thinking, Keith, you've been living like a chicken. And you know how chicken live?
That's quite a statement.
Yeah. A chicken wakes up because he didn't die the previous night.
Oh, wow. That's okay. What a way to live.
And so I got to start just a systematic way of drawing lines in a certain very small book where I'm able to just plan for the week ahead and like starting from the known to the unknown.
Yeah.
And with that, I began to realize there's more structure and there's more consistency and there's more follow-through. So that's back in 2012. Now, in 2024, I don't know which camera we're using. This is how, as a company, we are helping companies and individuals to do less and accomplish more.
Yeah.
So this is the Declutter Weekly Planner, where with every person that I get to interact with closely, I'm challenging them. At the beginning of every week, ask yourself, what are the priorities of the week?
So it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are the priorities of the week? And that needs to be based on those priorities. It now should influence how the week looks like. And with every day, you ask yourself, what's the main event? Based on what I said I want to accomplish at the beginning of the week, what's the main event? And then there's the middle section, which talks about what are the accomplishments. And this is something you get to do at the end of the week and ask yourself, what are those things I got to accomplish that I predetermined to do? And then there's the pending list.
Yeah.
What am I carrying forward to the next week? So with this kind of lifestyle, you begin to realize you're beginning to narrow down and you're doing less and accomplish more. Yeah. Those 5 questions of who's holding your hand, whose hand are you holding, when was the last time you met, what are they keeping accountable to work on, how are you measuring your growth? Such a system enables you to follow through with such. And as men, when it comes to healing, you need other people. Yeah. You need people who've walked the journey to hold your hand, but you have to have a structured way to do it. Yeah. I normally say that your level determines your mentor, and then your mentor determines your level. Oh. Yeah. Okay. And so if you've not learned how to manage yourself well, then even a mentor can't really help you. Yeah. I'm seated on this side because you as Mark are serious enough for me to stop everything I'm doing to show up and support what you're doing.
Thank you.
So if you didn't have a structure, if you didn't have a lifestyle that that warrants a mentor, I wouldn't even be here to support your dream.
Yeah.
So how many more people are out here waiting to support us, but because there's no structure or if you're living like chicken, then people will only wait for you when you're not existing.
Hey. So take home, don't live like a chicken, guys. Don't live. Just don't do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
And living like a chicken is how people end up dying without the things that they're supposed to leave behind.
Yeah.
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 So my challenge to the guys on the audience, are you living like a chicken? On your funeral, will we be burying a bird or an achiever?
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
It wasn't supposed to come out that way. But it
No,
has.
valid. It was said that way, it was put that way.
Yeah.
Unedited.
Yeah.
And it's going that.
Literally,
Yeah.
guys will fly away.
Okay. The dad jokes again. He was on a roll before this. But anyways, yeah. But I really like that about, holding yourself accountable,
Yeah.
with the days you've been given.
Yeah.
Because I think when God created us, he didn't just put us here with the time we've been given just to sleep, eat, reproduce, because if that was the case, then there was no point for intelligence, But now that we've been given all this, I mean, I remember there was a point where I was driving home and I looked at a building and I was like, wait, you're telling me that someone sat down and said, okay, I'll put a couple of stones together and then we'll paint it, and then we'll put glass, and then we'll do this, and then we'll put it in this interesting structure, and it will become a really fancy building. And it's that's a lot of intelligence. That's a lot of intelligence. So I like how, when you've emphasized about holding yourself accountable, because I think it would be also a disservice to the time that God has given us on earth to just waste it away doing what you think you should be doing, but it's not what he created you to be doing at this moment,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so, as we finish, who we are is God's gift to us.
Yeah.
But what we do with ourselves is a gift back to God. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a God approach to life. We believe that there's life beyond earth. We believe there's an existing being beyond. We don't believe in this thing of the universe. Those are personal views.
Yeah.
But we believe that everyone will get to give an account one day to the creator of the universe and to give an account of what did you do with what I placed, quote unquote, in your hard drive.
Yeah.
Did you unpack it and share with the world? Or have you come with a package full of the things that you're supposed to leave behind that are of no use to us here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So congratulations for following through with your vision.
Thank you.
Unpacking one more, gift to the world. And this conversation is to your credit and to our producers who've given us a chance. Yeah, maybe you could give credit to the university actually for...
Hey, honestly,
Yeah.
shout out to the Aga Khan University
Yeah.
where this is being shot. I hope I'm allowed to say this. Am I allowed to say? Yeah, okay, yeah. So, yeah, they have state-of-the-art facilities. They did not pay me for this, what's this thing called? Advertisement.
Yeah.
This is from the heart. I think I just want to say thank you as well for just how they've supported this whole initiative. Even not necessarily being a media student and still getting to do this is just amazing.
Yeah.
So guys, come to Aga Khan. It's a nice place actually. It's
Yeah.
a really nice place.
Yeah, as we finish, so what should people look forward to?
Ooh, I like that question. Okay. So what should you look forward to is everything mental health, all things mental health. So we're going to go deep. We're going to have psychiatrists on board. We're going to have psychologists on board. We're going to have people with lived experiences on board. We're going to have so many, we'll cover such a wide perspective to it that in one occasion, we'll be doing psychiatric disorders, we'll be doing mental health issues, we'll be walking through even different perspectives, like now in the African home. What is the trauma associated with the African home? What's the trauma associated with high school in Africa, in Kenya? What's the trauma associated with church? What's the trauma associated with, so many different places. So this is not a 7-episode season. It's not just a short series. It's going to be a very long but fun and adventurous journey. I don't even know when we'll stop doing this.
Yeah.
Maybe, when I'm 70, we can barely talk.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Yeah. So I think I don't want to say too much, because then again, spoilers. But definitely what you can look forward to is just all things mental health. And when we say we're healing, we're not just healing emotionally, we're also healing mentally. We're healing our mindsets. We're healing our attitudes. We're healing our perspectives. We're healing, then again, our emotions. Yeah. So that's what you can look forward to.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for having me.
It's been a great time.
Asante.
Thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Bye-bye.